Hey there. So I'm going to be sharing with you how I do my meal planning. I'm going to do a little screen share before that. I am actually just going to do a pen and paper and show you kind of how I meal plan. It only takes me about 10 minutes. So I really, really hope that you all sit down for just like 10 to 15 minutes and put a meal plan together. A few tips before you do meal planning. Once we go through the actual materials, it's really important that you pick out the foods that you like, because a part of lifestyle balance, a part of, you having success in this group, you really have to like the foods that you're eating, or it just becomes a diet and it's very, very boring and bland. So with that said, I'm going to do a screen share. Go ahead and log into www.teambeachbody.com. Log in using your username and password, and you will have Beachbody On Demand pop up very slowly in my case. And everyone in the groups or whatever group that you're in, you're going to be doing a different program. So it's really important that you understand that all of the programs utilize those portion control container system boxes, but different programs call for different box amount, and you have different foods. So it's really important that you pick the program that you want, and then you go to the actual program. So for me, for instance, I'm doing Insanity Max 30, and I'm going to go to the program materials. Make sure before you even start meal planning that you go to the quick start guide in each program, that you read through everything. This basically is just a virtual booklet. So if you were to get all of these programs or one of the programs delivered to your house in actual materials that are being delivered, you would just open it up and read it. So this is everything kind of in one. Make sure you read through the quick start guide. For purposes to keep this video short, I'm not going to do that, but I've already done it. Fitness guide, workout calendar, progress tracker, food journal if you would like. But I'm going to go to the nutrition guide. And all the programs have their own nutrition guide. Like I said, we all use the same boxes though. So that's why these groups work the way they do, because we all have different programs, but in those programs, we all use a similar nutrition guide. So there's Shanti looking pretty sweet. Here's a table of contents. So these are the first steps, 3 easy steps. Select plan A or plan B. So with the 21-day fix, for example, she actually has like a caloric breakdown. So she takes like your weight and she divides it by something and multiplies it by 11. But for Insanity Max 30, basically if you're under 150 pounds, you're on plan A. If you're over 150, you're on plan B. So he made it super easy for me. So I'm plan A. So I get 3 veggies, and I'm going to write all of these down. So make sure you have a pen and paper out. And make sure that you have a pencil, actually, because it works a lot easier if you mess up. So I have, as you can see, 3 veggies, 2 fruits, and these are the boxes. So I have 3 green boxes, 2 purple boxes, 4 proteins, 2 carbs, 1 healthy carbohydrate, which is a blue, 1 orange. So you already messed up. And feel free to skip through this video if you're already like sick of me talking about the same thing. So blue, I have 1, orange, I have 1, and then I have 2 oils and nut butters. Okay. So here's what I've written down. Now that's going to be like my tally system. So I have 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 1, 2. Those are the boxes that I need to fill in. So what I do first is I read through the meal plan. Those are the boxes that you should have received with your program. And I'm going to go into basically all the foods that I like. So this is really where I like to print it out and kind of mark up my veggies, fruits, proteins. This way I can kind of have some variety. But I like to keep my meal plans relatively simple because it's just less time at the grocery store and it's less guessing. So with that said, I'm going to write down 5 veggies that I like. So for veggies, Brussels sprouts, broccoli. And I get things too that my family likes as well. So my husband likes broccoli. He loves Brussels sprouts. I do carrots, cucumbers, zucchini. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 5 of those. And you can pick whatever foods that you like. And that's what's great. Oh, I love green beans. I'm going to take out Brussels sprouts. I'm going to do green beans. So now let's move on to fruit. So I only get 2 servings of fruit a day. So I'm going to do an apple because an apple a day keeps the doctor away. An apple with strawberries because I like strawberries. Okay. Protein. And if you guys notice here on Insanity Max 30, the equivalencies of like what the box amount would be is already on here. So Insanity Max 30 was created from Insanity, and they back then didn't have the portion control container system, so that's why they have the equivalencies. So with that said, let's go to proteins. So proteins, I do ground meat. I do normally like chicken and turkey, and then steak, plain yogurt, chicken, and eggs, for example. I'm not a huge fan of eggs, but they're good for you. So, oh, and then Shakeology. Let's do the 6th one. Shakeology is a right container, so you know. Carbohydrates. Ugh, my favorite. Carbohydrates. So let's do brown rice. Brown rice. Gluten-free toast. Oatmeal. I like to do some overnight oats. Beans, black beans. That's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beans and pasta. It's the fall. Gotta get carby. Okay. Healthy fats. Fats are hummus, avocado, nuts, and parm. Now let's go to, and as you can see, the less amount of boxes I get, the less amount of foods that I write down, because I'm not going to write down 5 seeds and dressings because there's not more than like 7 or 8. So seeds and dressings, I normally do coconut and kind of only do coconut and dressing, I guess. And then nuts and butters. Oops. The nuts and butters. I do almond butter. And coconut oil. Okay, so now that I have all that written down, I'm going to put this to the side so I have point of reference, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue. These are all free foods. So in every single program, there is a free food. They have substitutions, beverages, snacks in every single program. So you'd be able to, you know, figure out what you can and cannot have, what's included, coffee additions, and then they have different recipes, right? So you can use the different recipes for sure. And all these look so good. I'm doing a 3-day refresh and I'm starved. I'm not starved, I just want to eat. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and stop screen share. And I will fly through this. So I have all of my foods that I want or that I like, and then at the top I have all of the food boxes that I need to get in throughout the day. So I first start with the hardest meal of the day. And the hardest meal for me, I would say, would be lunch because I need it to be accessible. And some people, and I used to do this, I used to drink my Shakeology for lunch because I would just had like a portable blender that I took with me to work. And then I had like additions. So I had some strawberries or whatever I wanted to add to it. But I'm noticing that my mornings are a lot busier. So I now have my Shakeology in the morning, but it's not a hard meal for me. So if you know, Shakeology, if it's best at lunch, then have it for lunch, but have Shakeology when you need it. It could be for a snack, it could be for dinner, it could be for breakfast or lunch. So I'm going to do Shakeology. And advice, if you have colored pencils or colored markers, use them and just use them color coding wise. So we're going to do Shako. Oh, we're not doing Shako. Sorry. I do Shako for breakfast. So for lunch, I'm going to do some roasted. Actually, let's do like a small kale salad. So we'll do kale salad with turkey burger. And what I do when I'm creating these meals is I put in like the bulk of the meal. So I do salad, turkey burger, but what about dressing? What about making the salad taste better and this and that? I wait until all of my boxes are pretty much full, and then I start adding the different boxes to different types of meals. I'll show you what I mean. So for lunch, I'm doing kale salad and a turkey burger. So I'm going to go back to my other sheet, and I'm going to tally 1 protein and 1 green. So for veggie, I've already used 1, and for protein, I've already used 1. So now I have 2 more veggies left, and I have 3 proteins. So now I'm going to put Shako for breakfast. Shako for breakfast. And with Shakeology, I have seriously use a pencil. For breakfast, I have Shakeology, Shako, and then 1 cup of spinach, which would be 1 green. So I tally another green and another protein. And then also in my breakfast, I have a half of a purple. And our purple boxes are a cup. So I have a half of one of those. This way, I can use the other half for later. Spreading out my food. So I'm going to do half strawberries. So that's going to knock off 1 purple, 1 fruit. I'm going to take the other half. I'm going to do that for a snack. So morning snack, I like to have an apple with nut butter. And I'll do a whole apple. So I knocked off another fruit, and I knocked off 1 oil. Okay. So I have for breakfast, I have Shakeology with 1 green. So I have 1 red, 1 green, and then half of a purple. And then for a snack, I have a whole purple. So I have an apple with nut butter. For lunch, I have kale salad and turkey burger. So for an afternoon snack, so for an afternoon snack, I have, what do I normally have? Let's do a yogurt with the other half of the purple. So another half of fruit, which would be like blueberries or something, with cinnamon. Okay, so that will take off another protein, and it will take off the other half of that fruit, and that's it. So for dinner, I'm gonna have brown rice with some sort of protein, so chicken or whatevs. Protein, and then 1 more veggie. So now my veggies are gone. So we've used up 3 veggies. We've used up 4 proteins. That's done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's done. We've used up 1 carbohydrate, so 1 healthy carb. And we have also used up. That's it. So for now, what I have left, let me show you what I have left. I have one carb, which normally I drink. So I have one carb left. I have one blue left, which is like a healthy fat. I have one orange left, which is like dressing or the coconut, right? And then I have one oil. So it's always good to, once you have your list down, to go in and say, okay, I have veggies. Like, what do I want to eat? And you can change up your meal plan every single day. That's just more groceries that you have to buy. So what I do when I go grocery shopping, which I'll share in just a moment, let me backtrack here. So let's stay on target. I have one nut butter or oil. I have one orange, which is like a dressing or seeds or coconut. And then I have one healthy fat and one carbohydrate. So I look at my meal plan. I say, where can I fit this stuff in, right? So since I have a salad for lunch, I'm going to put the one orange, which is dressing. So I'm going to do dressing like balsamic and oil. So that's going to take care of my oil. So that's done. I mean my dressing, sorry. One dressing. And then I have one more oil. So I'm going to use that for dinner, whether it's in the meat or whatever. So I'll do one nut butter, not nut butter, oil. I can't think right now. One oil. So done with oils. Now I have one carbohydrate and one blue, which is healthy fat. So what I'm going to do is for lunch, I'm going to do a half of a blue, and that's going to be Parmesan cheese. Actually, no, let's do avocado. So now I have a half of a blue left. And then I'm going to take that other half of blue and I'm going to put it on my veggies at night. So I'm going to do half of a parm on my veggies. So that's taking away all my blues. Now I have one carbohydrate. So I could have like a piece of toast. So with my morning snack, with my apple and nut butter, let's do one slice of toast, gluten-free toast. Okay, we're done. Me done. Okay, this is what I got. So for breakfast, I have Shakeology, which is one red. I have spinach in that Shakeology, and I freeze my spinach, by the way. It's a nice tip, which is one green. And then I have a half of a purple, and that's with ice and water. That's for breakfast. My morning snack, I have an apple with nut butter. So that's one purple and one nut butter, which is 1 teaspoon. And then I have one slice of gluten-free toast. Now on the gluten-free toast, I could either put half of that nut butter that would normally put on my apple. That's fine. So I have one slice, which is another carbohydrate. For lunch, I have a kale salad, which is one green. I have a turkey burger, which is one protein, which is red. And then I have dressing, which is the orange. And then I have half of my avocado. So I chop up, put half of that into a little blue box, and then sprinkle that on top of my kale salad. That's for lunch. And for my afternoon snack, I have yogurt with a half a cup, which is the other half of the purple that I was going to use in my afternoon snack. And what a tip on that is I freeze the fruit and then I put it into the yogurt, and it kind of, by the time I eat it, it's super, super like soft, and it melts a little bit. So it gives you kind of a natural way to spice up and make your plain yogurt more flavorful. And I sprinkle that with cinnamon. And then for dinner, I have brown rice, which is one yellow, which is a healthy carb. I have protein, which is one red, which is protein. And then I have one veggie, which is green. And then I use up the rest of the oil, which is 1 teaspoon. And then my other half of my blue, which is Parmesan. So that's my meal plan. I keep everything the same for the whole week besides lunch and dinner. So my 2 snacks and my breakfast are normally all the same all the time, because you can kind of flavor those up a little bit. And lunch and dinner, I change up. So for dinner on Tuesdays, I'll do Taco Tuesday. So instead of brown rice and meat with veggies, I'll do veggies with 2 tacos or something. And then for lunch, sometimes I do tacos, or I do turkey burger with veggies. So it kind of just depends. So that's kind of how I create my meal plans Few tips on meal planning: make sure that you have a plan and that you write down a grocery list. So everything based on your grocery list, I would write maybe two, and then I would just write a list of everything that I need and how many of each I need. A few other tips too: make sure that you read through the meal plan and figure out all the flavorings, because you can add a lot of spices to your meal plans, which is great too. So any herbs, any spices, Tabasco is free for most programs, lemons, limes, cinnamon, anything that will flavor up for your food. I think that's it for the tips. So if you have any questions or if you would like to work through a meal plan, let me know. That's why I'm here. But my plan is all set and I'm ready for to rock. All right, guys, have a good night. Thank you for watching. Bye.